Good morning. This is my view just outside my small apartment. Um, and this is me. And I'm getting ready to partake in my morning ritual. Have a good smoke. Factory smokes. I have what's left of a double sugar. And I have a new bottle of Gold Reserve Johnny Label. Not Johnny Label, Johnny Walker. Now, there are some folks that have told me that I do this. Well, you can see it's a fresh bottle. I show you what I drink from. I drink all kinds of scotch. I'm in the Lafroy virtual taste testing later in November. So I want you to see how I do my smokes. So first thing you do is cut off the tip. Now, what I do is take a blow, and I think that the guy that teaches me about all these cigars is a really good guy, smart guy. And so he says that by taking that one little step of blowing it into your cigar, it prepares it for its aroma and movement. So this is a little tool that was shown to me. And what you do is you cut out and then scrape away so you have a little reservoir in there. Now what this does, it concentrates smoke. So then you have to have a good torch lighter. Now, these torch lighters, like this, they're not expensive, but if you take them through the airports, they'll take them. Now, notice that I'm burning all the way around. And you want red ash for your whole smoke. So we're good. So I'll drink what's left of my Glenmorangie orange, and then I'm going to begin drinking Johnny Walker Gold. Now, the reason I'm making this video is a couple fold. Number one, I'm serious as a heart attack of running for governor in 2024. And I want the people to see me the way I am. I've got warts. I hope that by 68 years old, everybody's got some warts. Now, to my knowledge, my marriages are legitimized. They've been chronicled. And I have told everyone that they were all happy to get rid of me. Well, the first marriage, she was gorgeous, and she was funny, and she was smart, and she was a nurse's aide, and she wanted to become a nurse. And her mother, Nancy Holmson, got a unfortunate accident. She head-on a tractor trailer when she was drunk, going in the wrong direction on an interstate byway. Well, the mother should have been dead immediately, and God's grace kept her alive and stayed in a coma after the wedding, and we actually moved to Memphis, Tennessee, thinking that she would eventually expire. She didn't. So when she woke up, she really put a guilt trip on Holly, and Holly said, I got to go back and take care of my mother. She has nobody. So we agreed to divorce, and that divorce was done in Dyersburg, Tennessee. I did it myself, and she was happy. She, meaning Holly, she was happy with the result. She lives in somewhere in Southern California, down near Fullerton, and it's Holly Green Brown. And today she lives on a 5-acre mini ranch, and where she loves her horses and takes care. And I think she's got 3 or 4 kids. I haven't met her, haven't seen her. Now, number 2 wife, that was a mistake, and we got that what they call when you it's not a divorce, but it's you get rid of it because the courts don't see it because she was young. Now, I got to good wife number 3, and she really wasn't a good wife. She was more name only. We never actually tied the knot. Faith Madison, and she would have bled me dry. So eventually I went back to her old hubby and said, please take this girl away from me. And he was in love with her, and he was willing to put up with her shenanigans. So we got rid of that. Then 4th wife, that could have worked. That could have worked. I'm at loss right now to name her name. She was from Mississippi, and she was a model at South Coast Studios, where I was modeling a bit. Yeah, I was modeling. that was a joke. What happens is, I see this ad to be a model, and the people called me and said, "Hey, we want you." And I said, "All right. What features do you really like about me?" And they said, "Well, you don't have any features. You're just sort of like an everyman. So you'll be real easy to place in the shows and the photo shoots." And I go, "Oh, I look like everyman." Well, I guess that's good. So I guess I only had 4 actual wife experiences, and one of them was really not a wife. But I was not successful in marriage. And I now know why. Because all my life, I had a little chip on my shoulder because I wasn't big enough, I wasn't tall enough, I wasn't good enough, and it resulted in me puffing up like a little banty rooster and trying to be something I wasn't. So I guess that reality struck home when my love of my life, Iron Story, she said, "Steve, you can walk in a room and piss off some people." And I don't know how many people I could piss off, but she said all of them. And I was with this girl from high school all the way through the 4 years of college. And when she eventually left me, I knew that I was just hurt, damaged. And I decided that that's the way it's going to stay. So until I started doing work with Sandy Mack and doing some NLP, I realized that being an asshole is not a good thing. So I've really worked hard to become a good person, and also to become a man that walks with God. Now, I've still got some blue language in me, and my little grandson told me 2 weeks ago, he said, he calls me Paw. He says, Paw, you don't have to talk that way, and God doesn't want you to do that. So I'm trying really hard to get rid of my blue language. So this is pretty much it. I've done a lot of business, and done a lot of jobs, and had a lot of careers, and all of them relatively successful. I have been bankrupt one time, and that's foolish because I just spent and never put anything away. My dad, in my later years, he said, you'd be a zillionaire if you hadn't his words were a little harsher, peed away all your money. And I said, but Dad, I got money. He says, yeah, you tell people that, but you don't have any money. Well, I got enough to do what I'm going to do. So I just gave away 95% of my corporation, Trading Consultants Inc. I'm going to turn it into a 501c3 called the Charity Initiative, and it's really, really a good place. And Larry Powers is going to be doing the conversion and what they call a capital evaluation. And I'm going to drop $50,000 into it, and we'll get it started. So this is my dossier, if you will, of what I think to be would it be any warts. I drank a lot. I had multiple DUIs, and when my wife, ex-wife at that time, Mary Catherine Lobel, she said, "You can't see your son until you get yourself straight." And I went into AA, 90 meetings in 90 days, and didn't have a drink. So that officially says that I'm not a drunk. However, I consider myself a functioning alcoholic. But I'm in a lot of pain these days for some things that I don't understand. But I've got a good doctor and some good physical therapists. And so what my DO says is that based on the health of your blood, you shouldn't have any problem. So if you want to smoke and drink, with blessing. So my intention is to do good things with good people and create some legacy for all 20 of them, because they're all really good people. I've got Lee Larson. He's the mastermind of this thing. Larry Powers, a CPA extraordinaire. Catherine Chandler, my first and most valuable accountant, because she really put up with me through some very dark times. I've got the Doji boys, Xavier and Aaron. Xavier, I forget his last name. It's a little bit longer, but Gowoff is Aaron's last name. They're my SEO, SEM people, and doing a whole lot of really innovative stuff. John McGraw, like a second son. My son, of course, and his grandson are going to be invited. And Jennifer, I've added John and his wife to the team. And I added my doctor, Dr. Samuel Stout, the best internist in the world. I added two of my students. Christopher Ramsey and Fit Relang. I gave my best friend in Taiwan, Adam Yusen Chu, and my first guy that actually believed in me, Tahir Khan. I've added Joseph Lankland, who's an unbelievably algorithmic trader and master of code, and there's several other people. But I want you to understand that what I'm doing is I'm giving away a corporation, turn it into a charity, and every one of those people is going to be on the board and own 5% of the charity. Now, you can say, well, the charity can't make money. Well, yes, it can. Because what we can do is we can take money into the charity, loan it out to our 20 people, and they can do good things for good people, and then they pay back the loan at 3%, and obviously they'll want to make a generous donation to the charity. So it's in, out, in. I think it's going to work. So we got to get all the nuts and bolts, and Larry will clean that up. Oh, and Nelson is going to be really the operational genius behind this thing. Graham, I call him the Canadian genius. He's one of these guys that we're going to have, and it's going to be fun. So this is a long video, but I sure would like you to try naturopathy. I'd like you to see the value of the way we trade. We'll do tradingconsultants.us, and we have the lone Forex traders for a little more aggressive people. And then I'm going to run for governor in 2024 called Nos Bigs, and probably eventually call it Paladin. But it'll be fairly easy to follow, and it's the way I want to live my life. I believe I can turn North Carolina around, and I got a couple of buddies that are thinking about running for governors in other states. And after I pull this shit off, after I pull this victory in 2024, and I get a second term, 8 years, I know I can get a couple of my buddies to run for governor in their states. So have a good morning.